question for Jaap van der Meer. Very interesting system you're setting up there in Bot. I'd be interested to know about the costs which are involved in setting up such a system.
How much it costed us, or how much it cost for anyone to participate?
No, how much? I mean, the actual running costs of such a thing. How big are they?
Yeah, well, the biggest cost factor is the hosting, and a small support management team. We have 3 people kind of working full time in TDA organization. We work with an independent sort of hosting server farm, for the servers to host all the data, and there's been some development costs, obviously, where we're now as I mentioned there, we're looking for sponsors to take on sort of the funding of some of those new features like TM cleaning, matching scores, MT trainer, evaluator. So the current cost level on an annual basis is around $500,000.
Thank you very much.
There was a question here.
Hopefully a quick question, Josef, about WMT this summer. Has anyone done any system combination of some of the underserved languages from a submission to actually given to WMT? I mean, I know for some of the underserved languages there were actually a number of systems submitted.
Yeah, I can't answer that question, but Andreas Eisele, I saw Andreas earlier on in the audience. He's over there. He might be able to answer that.
Just some of the underserved EU languages. I'm not sure. I don't know all the language pairs that were actually submitted to WMT. I know you have evaluation data for like Hungarian, which in your Matrix Plus was one of the weaker.
It is, but I don't think Hungarian was part of the competition. It was only confined to those 6 languages, and I think the most exotic, or 5 languages, the most exotic one in that group was Czech, I guess. Yeah. And I think, as far as I remember, there were combo systems for all of in all of the pairs in all directions. Yeah.
Okay.
And the combo systems were quite successful.
Last year it was less clear, but this time you could really see that they were more successful than some of the best of the others. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Josef has a question.
Question to Hans. If one considers large multilingual countries like India, for example, or more recently South Africa, we may find that they have large programs to cover all their national official languages. In India, they address 20 official languages. In South Africa, now they address 11 national languages. How is it that there is not something comparable in Europe? Is it because Europe is not a country but a set of countries? I mean, the example of Euromatrix in machine translation is very nice, covering all the 23 European national languages, official languages. Should it be possible to do the same for all technologies?
That's a very good question. So we established links, of course, with the initiatives, not yet to South Africa, but with in India, and also it seems that now in China more attention is paid to the other languages of China, besides Mandarin. But I really think that on the one hand we may get some benefits out of the of this layer cake of administrations in Europe. So that on the one hand we have the regions like the Catalan region, then we have the nations like Spain, and then we have the European Union. But in this case I think we have a disadvantage, because the people who are really worrying about internal security, about the language communities and their complaints are not the decision makers mainly in Brussels who worry about how to spend the research budget, and who are mainly surrounded by lobbyists from the largest companies and not by the lobbyists from the research communities. So that is a problem and makes a difference. So if you have a country that may explode, like India with lots of unrest in different areas, years, then you worry about it and maybe are more faster in putting up a budget and than the European Union on a high level. So let's hope that we can convince them before the lid blows up in Europe at some point. Yeah?
That's a very important issue. And I hope that MetaNet can do something in this respect. Other questions or comments? Also from you, if you want. Yes, please.
Yes, I have a quick question for Mrs. Huang. And I saw from your presentation that you had worked or contacts with a lot of state institutions. And I was wondering if you have worked together with the State Intellectual Property Office as well, the Patent Office of China.
Do you work also with the Patent Office of China, Intellectual Property Right Office of China, and machine translation? IPSO, yeah, Patent, Intellectual Property
yeah.
Office of China. They also need machine translation.
Yes. In 2003, we have started our cooperation with the Intelligent Property Bureau of China to develop a machine translation, especially on the use. Yeah, and for these years, we have developed the system with them for about 5 specialties for their use, especially in academic, in chemical and Chinese medicine, and so on. Yeah. Thank you.
5 domains, yeah, with it.
Yes, 5 domains to their use, yeah. And currently, we will to put the system on the website of the IP Bureau. Yeah. Thank you.
While we see if there is any other question, maybe I ask the speakers of the afternoon to upload the presentations. Oh, yes, please.
I have one question myself, not to the audience, but also to Professor Huang. There was one slide, yeah, and that went so fast that nobody of us could really see it. So there was one slide that had the language pairs Chinese-English, English-Chinese, and Russian-Chinese, Chinese-Russian. Yes. And then there was a second slide that was very fast, and we could not see the other language pairs.
And we have about 12 language pairs of our machine translation. One is the first one is English to Chinese, Chinese to English, and the second one is Japanese to Chinese, Chinese to Japanese, and the third one is Russian to Chinese, Chinese to Russian, and the third one is German to Chinese, Chinese to German, and also Chinese to French, Chinese to Spanish, and Chinese to Korean, and Korean to Chinese. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions? Yes, please.
I have a question. Thank you. A question about the House CDA, the fantastic collection of documents. The question was, organizations like the one this morning, Translators Without Frontiers, or some of the, say, Linux user documentation groups, where it's not really a company, but a vast collection of volunteers, everyone doing it on their own machine. But there is quite a large collection of data involved, so there could be some uploading. Would they be able to join House TDA? Leveraging it for...
Yes, absolutely. We already have partner agreements with associations, kind of a free membership. If their members or their community like to make use of the TDA platform, then we welcome them to join, and sometimes on at no cost. You know, so we're very open to these kind of alliances. Yeah.
I'm afraid we have to stop the session here. We thank very much the presenters for their very interesting meetings.